This is a part of a course where we learn Godot by making a 2D game, a vampire survival clone with a scalable architecture. Press like if it's been useful. In this part, we will add test effect for our enemies using particles. There are plenty of options you could use to make any effect when your enemy dies. Most common are to have animated sprite or just a plain sprite with a few frames of some drawn effect, like maybe a fire, maybe some cloud, whatever you want. Or you could use particles, like a separate node or separate scene that you will instantiate in the place your enemy was when he dies, and those particles will run the pre-made animation. In our case, I want to make the burst effect. We will grab the point of position our enemy was on the scene, and from this point we will spawn like particles that fly away, like a burst. So our enemy will disappear instantly, and there will be a burst effect using particles. To create our particles, go to Scenes, Gameplay, Entities, create a new folder, Particles, and name new scene Burst. It's a plain 2D node or whatever there was. Now let's change its type to Particle 2D. And here are two types, CPU and GPU. Almost in all cases you want to use GPU. They will work much faster, but in some rare cases when your game using a lot of GPU time to compute, draw something, but the CPU is free, you could use CPU particles, but it's a rare case, we'll use GPU particle. Now we already see this rect. It's a visibility rect. It means this rect should be on the screen in order to particles will draw. If this rect isn't on this viewport, isn't on the screen, particles won't draw. That's it. So particles that won't be visible, Godot just will skip them. Now, what we should do in the process material, click here to create a new particle process material. And I already should see, yeah, if you zoom in, you will see particles already work. That's the plain particles effect. They spawn amount of 8 and they have a gravity. So they spawn here, and by the gravity, they just fall down and disappear. It controls how fast by the gravity and how long do they live. By time, here is lifetime. If I make it shorter, they will be destroyed earlier. If I make it bigger, they will fly pretty much a long time. So when the particle is done, when it's destroyed, it respawn, and so on and so on and so on. They don't spawn one at a time. As you can see, they go in the order. So we want to make a burst effect. Let's go to the spawn, and here we need the velocity, and here first let's go the spread, use 180, and initial velocity. Velocity is 0. We'll set the velocity, I don't know, maybe let's try 100. Yeah, so 180 is the angle they spread on, and we have now the velocity, so they jump in different direction. But again, you can see they make an arch. They go up and down, because we didn't disable the gravity. Go to acceleration, gravity. Oh, also, if you forget where you did any changes, because there are a lot of params you could tweak, you can see this at the from the right side of any prop you are changing, you'll see change and the amount. So here's the gravity, it's the full gravity, we'll set it to 0. Now, no gravity, so they just fly on the straight line using the random angle. Burst effect is almost done. To make it felt like a burst, go to time, and here is explosiveness. As you can see, they spawned with the delay in the order, one by one. But we want to make it a burst, so we need to spawn them all at the same time. And move explosiveness to 1. So they will be spawned at the same time. And the burst effect is done. We just need to adjust the lifetime, how long they will live till they will be drawn again. Maybe 0.3. Okay. So our enemy die, and we will see one single burst effect. Single. I don't want it to be repeated like this. A particle effect will be played in the loop, in the infinite loop. So if you want to stop it, you need to or disable manually in the script by timer or anything else emitting, or you can use one shot. That's what we need. When the enemy dies, we spawn this effect, this scene, and we need it to be played only once. So one shot, make it played once. Okay. Why we use particles, not the sprites? Well, as to me, it looks good enough. Also, we could add here sprites, so they could be used inside the particles. Now you see it throws like squares, like one tiny white pixel. But you could use any sprite and also play sprite animations. So each of these particles could be separate animated sprite. It's very flexible. That's why we'll use particles. And I just will reduce the amount from 8 to 5 maybe. Yeah, like this. Also, our enemies are the ordering in the scene use the index 1. So if you don't want our particles to be all behind the units and we don't see them, we need to adjust ordering and use the index 1 too. Or maybe you want all of your particles to be above all of your enemies, but I will use 1. So the ordering will be used the same as for the enemies. So if this particular particle will spawned before any of enemies, it will be above it. If not, it will be behind. And now we are ready to use this. Let's go to our spawner and create a new function, spawn burst particles. We'll pass here position, and yes, don't forget to add it to asset register. Grab it from asset manager, and why we don't use the spawn as sets? Because we just need to spawn it, set position, but we also need to listen the finished signal, because when it's finished, I want to remove it from my scene. That's why I connect to it a new free function. Why I don't just create here a function like this and just called q-free on the burst particles, because this one could be used in a lot of other functions here when we spawn, not just for these particles. That's why I do not write it again and again in different functions. I separate it because possibly I will use it a lot of times in different functions. Just to pass their current scene, we want to clear. I will bind it as a parameter. So get it and call q-free. Then we use the spawn container, add it to the scene, wait it's ready, set the global position, and also we need to enable them. By default, the meeting is turned off, so we need to say start the effect. And after the first emission, it will be removed from our scene. Now let's use this function. Go to gameplay with handlers, and in function on enemy life change, after the enemy was free, called to be free, we call in our spawner spawn burst particles and pass there our enemy global position. We're ready to go. Let's try our enemy spawn test. The big enemies, they have more HP, but okay, you should see the burst effect. Maybe let me zoom in again, give me more enemies, and they're pretty small, but I think you should see them. Yeah, we don't have yet effect of getting hit. We'll add it in next parts, but we already have the test effect. If the particle seems too small for you, we can play with their size. Open again your burst particles and remove the one shot for now, enable the meeting so we can see them constantly. Go to our particle process material, open display, and here we can scale this one. And there's min and max, so you can click here min and max random sizes for your particles. It's 1, let's just move it a bit, like 1 and 2, so they could be more noticeable in our scene, maybe 1 and 5. Well, that's good enough, maybe a bit less. Okay, yeah, they could also be random sizes. Some will be a bit smaller, some will be a bit bigger, but with such little effect, there will be no scene changes. And don't forget to enable one shot again. Maybe you want your particles to be visible a bit longer, so enable extend the lifetime. Okay, and so we are freeing all of our particles we spawned. You should better check it does work as it should indeed. So let's open remote tab when we launch our game, and in the FAP init you see our nodes, and those particles should be created and removed from the scene tree. As you see, there are no burst particles left. They're spawning and they're removing after that, after they've been used. Okay, last one enemy, burst particle, and it's cleared. Yeah, we only have those tell me consumables left. So it works just fine. And in our test scene, if you want to make easier test, we picked random from all enemies. My enemy 2 and enemy 3 has more HP, so I will comment them for now and leave only enemy 1. And now, if I try this, let's look on this one. And here's our effect, like a burst. They're now like bubbles. Okay, hope you like this part. See you in the next one.